Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss some MCQs related to child development. So let's see the first question. Self-regulation of learners refers to, there are four options. Rules and regulation made by the student body. Second option, self-discipline and control. Third option, their ability to monitor their own learning, and fourth option, creating regulations for students' behavior. So first one, rules and regulation made by the student body. This is wrong. Why? Because if someone else is preparing rules and regulation for the students, means they are not preparing for themselves. Someone else is preparing for them. So that is not a self-regulation. Then self-discipline and control, this is also wrong. Why? Because self-discipline and control, it's a what? It's a self-controlling or it's a monitoring. Next, their ability to monitor their own learning, and fourth is creating regulation for student behavior. This is wrong. Why? Because here a setup was been made by someone else to monitor the student behavior. So it is not made by the person who wants to monitor their own behavior. So this is the right option. Their ability to monitor their own learning. Why? Because self-regulation is to monitor your own self. Monitor it means self-discipline is when you want to control, when you want to check yourself. But self-regulation is you need to monitor yourself, how you are doing. Okay. Next, individual learners differ from each other in, there are four options: sequence of development, second is general capacity of development, third principle of growth and development, fourth is rate of development. So individual learners difference means their individual difference, how the individual difference can be, matlab how it happens. Okay, so first, sequence of development. So it is wrong. Why? Because there are two sequence, one from top to bottom and one from medium center to outer side. So sequence of development is not responsible for individual difference, general capacity and development. So if you're talking about general capacity for development, so it also wrong. Why? General capacity is a very particular set of sequence. Okay, but particular set of sequence, or it's a general means it's happens in all the learners at the same rate or in the same way. Okay. Third, principle of growth and development. So it is not a principles suggests. Okay. So this one is right, the rate of development. So the rate of the rate of development actually responsible for the individual difference. On to the third question. Every learner is unique means that ki here we are saying na ki learner, each and every learner is unique in their own way. So what that means? First of all, a common curriculum for all learners is not possible. It is impossible to develop the potential of learners in a heterogeneous classroom. Third option, no, two learners are alike in their ability, interest and talent. And fourth option, learners do not have any common qualities, nor do they share common goals. So here the learner is unique in their own way. So the first option means a common curriculum for all learner is not possible. So it is not, that explains what the question is. It is impossible to develop a it is impossible to develop the potential of learners in a heterogeneous classroom. It also wrong. No two learners are alike in their abilities, interest and this particular option explains ki how each and everyone is different from each other, or yeah, how each and every learner is different, because they are not alike. Two people are not alike, they are different in terms of their ability, interest and talent. So this one is the right explanation of the uniqueness of the learner. Fourth question, which of the following characteristics denote infancy period? So here there's a four option from bilateral to unilateral treat or in motor organs. Second, from general to specific trend in motor organs. Next, emotional social development is not associated with motor development. Four, study mental development. So, which of the following characteristics denotes infancy period? So, your answer is C. Emotional social development is not associated with the motor development. This is the characteristic of a infancy period. Here the emotional and social development is not associated with motor development. Why? Here motor development is pretty high. The motor development rate is pretty high compared to social and emotional development, and it developed separately. Fourth is done. Move to the fifth. In which of the following stage the child look self-centered? So, in which stage childs are very much self-centered? Yeah, in which stage of development child become self-centered? So here you have four options: infancy, early childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. So first, infancy. So in infancy, children are very self-centered. In early childhood, they start sharing, they start caring about others, or they start playing in groups. In adolescence, we normally hang out in a group, and in adulthood, we are more mature. So your answer is infancy. In infancy, the learner or the child is very self-centered. He or she doesn't share anything with anyone. So your answer is A, infancy. Move to the next question. Social development by the end of early childhood means uh, at the end of the sixth year of the child. So social development by the end of the early childhood is marked by. So here marked by the feeling of autonomy. Second, the end of, just a minute, here the end of solitary place. Third, the temperament of cooperation and friendliness, and fourth is all of the above. So try to remember the characteristics of early childhood. First, the feeling of autonomy is also there. The end of solitary play, because they start playing in a group. Third, the temperament of cooperation and friendliness. So here they start forming groups to play or to hang out. So means they start developing different qualities. And fourth, all of them. So the right answer is this one, D, all of the above. In social development in the early childhood, you can see all these characteristics. Move on to the next. Later childhood is called latency period because the creative potentials are dormant. B, sex remains dormant. Third, it is a period of inactivity. D, all of the above. So first, start with creative potentials are dormant. So it is wrong. Sex remain dormant. It is a period of inactivity. So it is wrong, because we all know in childhood learners or the child is very active, and all that is obviously wrong. So the answer is this one, B, the sex remain dormant. To the next, children are very much hateful or indifferent to opposite sex at the age of, means in which age group the learner or the child they hate each other, means opposite, they hate their opposite sex. In which age group? Try to remember in which age group, uh, in which age group this type of characteristics have been found. I also discussed in my video ki in later childhood, what happened, boys developed a quality or they develop a assumption of superiority कि they feel like कि they are superior than girls. So what is the age group of later childhood? It is come under this age group. It is start from 6 to 12 years. So it is 11 to 12 years age where when the boys start or develop an idea that girls are less superior than them. Move on to the next. Toy age refers to. So the toy age refers is a very easy question. Toy age simply it's a early childhood because we love to play, we love to like we have toys, we have dolls, so and so. So the child are very much relate मतलब very much or मतलब they always focus on their games, play, all these things. The next question, the best method to study growth and development of the child is, there are four options: psychoanalytical method, comparative method, developmental method, and statistical method. So it is simple. This one is psychoanalytical, obviously not. Statistical method, obviously not. Comparative method, here you are not going to compare because if each and every individuals are developed in a different sequence or in a different rate, that's why you can see an individual difference. So your answer is C. Your answer is C because the developmental method can explain in which way the person actually growing. In different developmental method means if you observe the developmental sequence or developmental approaches, you can easily predict in which way they can be grow in future. Question: the concept of development task was first used by. So here is four people, you can see four people's name, you can see Herbert, Bruno, Hall and Havigrast. So first let's talk about first option. Herbert is the Herbert Spencer. So Herbert Spencer give the idea of social Darwinism, means what? Evolution, means the person need to evolve. So that was not the concept of a development. Concept of development means the person need to grow in their own pace. Then next person is Jerome Bruner. So Jerome Bruner doesn't explain the concept of developmental task um, in a very not in a very layman term or not in a very simple way. He explained it in a three stages: enact, iconic and symbolic representation. So that actually don't explain the stages of development. So Bonus also not going, Bonus also wrong. Then Halls. So Halls, Clerk Leonard Halls. So Clerk Leonard Halls give the theory of drive reduction theory. So drive reduction theory is a result of the concept of development, means primary or secondary need. So that concept normally drive from the existing idea of the development. So it is also wrong. And last is a Havigast. So answer is Havigast because Robert James Havigast actually gave, or the first he used the concept of developmental task. Matlab each and every stage of development is specifically need to perform certain developmental tasks. This particular idea given by the Robert James Havigast. Next, in child development, first emphasis is on process, second emphasis is on the role of environment and experience, third it is a study from conception to adolescence, fourth all of the above. So here first in child development emphasis need to given to मतलब need to give to the process, because जो emphasis जो होता है मतलब जो process जो होता है वो क्या होता है, process actually helps to understand कि how child can grow या how you can help them to grow. So it is mainly emphasis on the process, how the development can be happen. Next, emphasis is on the role of environment and experience. This is also right. First one is also right. Second one is right. Third one is study from concepts to adolescence, right? It is also right. So the answer is, the correct answer is D. All of the above. This all options, these three options actually explain the child development. Next, the type of personality of a person expressing his libido outwards is, ओके सो दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन में क्या होता है, जो पर्सनालिटी होता है अगर वो हमें अगर बाहर से मिलता है, अगर हम बाहर से हम अपना पर्सनालिटी की अगर ये कर रहे हैं, मतलब बोरो कर रहे हैं या इंस्पायर्ड हो रहे हैं, तो व्हाट इट सेज. सो फर्स्ट, cognitive personality. So cognitive personality only focus on processing of information, encoding and retrieval, so it is not the right option. Second, aesthetic. Aesthetic personality. So aesthetic personality experiences in the form of liking, pleasure and preference. So it is not all, it is not the right option or right um, idea. Next is extrovert personality. So extrovert personality means when the person are matlab here in extrovert personality means when the persons are very much open or very much friendly. They always like to hang out in a group, or they always work in a group, and they always being so active, means they are very much talk active, they are not shy, they are flexible. Okay, that is extrovert. And religious personality. So religious personality is not an independent personality, it actually borrowed from other personality. So this is also not the right option. So the answer is C. The extrovert personality can explain the type of person expressing his libido outside. So that this is right. Next is 14 number question. Adolescence is a period of storm and stress said by first is Brigson, Cole, third is Stanley, fourth is William McDougall. So here actually Stanley Hall give give this statement कि adolescence is the period of storm and stress. Next, personality traits such as introvertism and extrovertism personality was explained by. So who explained the idea of extrovertism and introvertism? So first let's see Cordell. So Renaud Cordell actually give 16 type of personality traits. उस 16 traits ने रेमोंड कैटल ने particularly एक word use किया था extroversion. Extroversion is like a extrovertism, but it only expresses the one angle, not the introvertism aspect. So Cottle is wrong. Next is Isings. So hence Isings actually give the theory on temperament rather than introvert. He give the theory on temperament, not on introvertism or extrovertism. So it is also wrong. Then Kempt also don't touch this particular concept, your introvertism and extrovertism. So the answer is Hume. So Hume give the personality trait such as introvertism and extrovertism. Next, which of the following is the best suited for emotional development of child? So democratic classroom environment, no involvement of a teacher as it is a task of a parent. Controlled classroom environment, authoritarian classroom environment. So first, in controlled environment, the emotional development cannot be developed properly. Why? In controlled situation, we don't normally express our environment fully. Authoritarian classroom, same. In authoritarian classroom, student normally doesn't express their thought or emotions. Next, no involvement of teachers as it is a task of parents. So it is wrong. It is the task of both. So this one is your answer. A is your answer. Democratic classroom environment is a best suit for the emotional development of child. Next. The pace of development varies from one individual to another, but it follows dash pattern. So individual development varies from one to another, we already know. So in which pattern? So toe to head, it is wrong actually. The haphazard is also wrong because development always happens in a sequential order. Then an unpredictable, it is also wrong because you can predict in some extent about the individual difference or individual development. And last, the sequential and orderly. So development always happens in a sequentially and orderly manner. That's why you can easily say ki, because of the sequence or because of the order of the individual leads to the individual difference. Early childhood is dash period for language development. So first, not so significant. It is very wrong because it is pretty much significant. Next, and unimportant, it is also wrong because it is important, because for a language development or for any form of development, in early ages, the means in early ages maximum things are developing, or it's a base normally created in our early ages. It's a very sensitive and neutral. Okay, neutral also wrong because it is not a neutral. So answer is sensitive, because for language development, it's a very sensitive period for language development. Why? Because in this particular period, they start using words or symbols for language development, for mathematics. They start using symbols. They start framing different words or sentences in this age. So this is a very sensitive age for a proper language development of a child. Last 19 number question. The unique interaction of dash and dash can result in different paths and outcomes of development. So exploration and nutrition, it's a very wrong. It is not a interaction, not an interaction between the exploration and nutrition. Challenges and limitation is also wrong, because the question asks the idea of a question is the unique reaction of dash and dash can result in different path and outcomes of the development. So which are the component that actually decide the development of a child? um, Option number D, stability and change, it's also wrong, because development is not development is not stable, it always changing. So our answer is C, heredity and environment. So heredity and environment need to work together for the proper outcome of the child. Last question. Anybody can become angry, that is easy, but to be angry with the right person to the right degree at the right time for the right purpose and in the right way, it is not easy. This is related to first emotional development, second social development, third cognitive development, fourth physical development. So obviously physical development is not a right answer. Why? Because here we are talking about the judgment. So physical development is a different context. Social, then cognition. Here you are not try to solve anything, you try to respond. So then we have left with two options, social development and emotional development. Social development is to adjust yourself with the society. So it is not the right answer. So the right answer is emotional development. Why emotional development? Because your emotional your emotions or emotional development help you to react or respond in a right way, with the right person with the right time. Because emotional development help you to understand in which way you can express your thought, so that you cannot hurt someone, or you can easily express your thought with the right way. So emotional development is the answer. So means anybody can become angry, that is easy, but to be angry with the right person to the right degree, the right time for the right purpose, and it is the way that is not easy. So it is a come under the emotional development. Okay, so this much for today. I will see you in the next class. Thank you.